Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Amma ba'd. Now, I haven't thought of what to name this video, but it will be about things, inshallah, you can be doing in Ramadan, and I will be like going over them as if it's a checklist. I'll try to make it as short and as concise and useful as possible, inshallah. To start it off, I will start off with two hadiths, inshallah, where the Prophet ﷺ says, "Wretched is the slave to whom Ramadan comes and when it passes from him is not forgiven." Wretched means unfortunate or unhappy, and this shows you how much Ramadan is a chance for us to be forgiven, inshallah. And another hadith where the Prophet says, "The gates of paradise are opened, and the gates of Jahannam are locked, and the devils are chained." And in another narration, it says, the gates of mercy are opened. And this is during Ramadan, so subhanAllah, yani it's a big chance for us. And this is the number one thing I put on the list, which is repenting to Allah and seeking forgiveness, coming back to Allah. It's been 1 year since last Ramadan, and it's been a year full of sins. So inshallah, this is our chance to get back to Allah. And a little motivating hadith, which is like one of my favorite hadiths. It's a Qudsi hadith where Allah says, uh, through the Prophet's tongue, if my if and my slave comes if my slave comes to me an inch span, I will come to him an arm's length. And if my slave comes to me an arm's length, I will come two stretched arms length. And if he comes to me walking, I will come to him running. So subhanallah, yani this is Allah, yani. Second thing on the list is taqwa, and uh, in the Quran, where Allah tells us in Surah Al-Baqarah, Ayah 183, "O believers, fasting is prescribed for you as it was for those before you. So perhaps you will become mindful of Allah." Mindful of Allah is our purpose to fast. Taqwa, God consciousness. You are not fasting for anyone. You are fasting. It's literally between you and Allah. No one can see you all day that you're not eating or drinking. And subhanallah, yani, it's a pact between you and Allah where it will help you, inshallah, that you become conscious that Allah is watching you 24/7. Like it's very obvious. We know that Allah is watching us 24/7, but sometimes we are belittling it, for example. Number three is fasting from sins. There's a hadith where the Prophet says, "Whoever does not give up forged speech and evil actions, Allah is not in need of leaving his food and drink," which means Allah will not accept his fasting. Like if you are fasting and you are cursing people and you are saying bad words all day, and if you keep sinning all day, then what are you doing? So let's try to avoid useless talk and insulting people, speaking in vain, and let's protect people from our tongues. Number four, inshallah, will be lots of dua. The Ramadan is a good chance for us to achieve what we want, and maybe we can make a list of du'as things that we really, really want, and continue to ask Allah. And there is a nice dua that Aisha radiallahu anha, she asked the Prophet on what to say during Laylat al-Qadr if she realizes it. And the Prophet told her you should supplicate and say, "Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna." It says, "Oh Allah, you are the most forgiving, you love forgiveness, so forgive me." Here the translation doesn't give it its full right. It's more of like pardoning. Afu is a higher level than forgiveness. So subhanallah, it's a very good dua. Number five will be gaining the love of Allah. Now, I'll start off with this hadith. It's a hadith Qudsi where Allah says, "And the most beloved thing which my slave comes nearer to me is what I have enjoined upon him," or like prescribed. "And my slave keeps coming closer to me through performing nawafil, which is voluntary and extra actions, until I love him so much that I become his hearing with which he hears, and his sight which he sees, and his hand which he strikes with, and his leg which he walks with. And if he asks from me something, I surely will give him. And if he seeks my protection or refuge, I will surely protect him." So subhanallah, imagine whatever you want, you ask Allah and Allah will give you, and whatever you seek refuge from, Allah will protect you from. So one thing to do is, the most important thing is doing what Allah loves the most, which is the things he prescribed upon, which is praying all five prayers on time in the mosque, and adding to it nawafil, which is voluntaries, the two rak'ahs before Fajr, the four rak'ahs before Dhuhr, and two after Maghrib and two after Isha, and also Qiyam al-Layl, adding as much as you want. You can start with two rak'ahs, four, eight, six, whatever you want, as much as you want. And also using the miswak. It's very small, but it's very nice. Imagine you are like going out to see someone, or you have an important meeting. You will surely like dress up, put perfume on, look nice, look presentable. So imagine it is Allah who you are seeing 5 times a day or more, yani. So you have to look presentable and nice. He's the most worthy to be presentable in front. And yes, so miswak is also a nice thing to do. Number 6 will be athkar al-masa and sabah. So evening athkar and morning athkar. I will put an app in the description. It's a very nice app. It has all of the adhkar, and it also has in Arabic and English, and it will also tell you like the virtues or like the rewards of the adhkar, and it's very very nice. If you like literally sit and read the rewards for these adhkar, you will not skip them. And doing dhikr 24/7. Now, one time I was walking to the mosque, and I was thinking to myself, how can someone die while saying the shahada, or how can someone remember saying the shahada when he's dying? And one of the things I thought of is, if you are remembering Allah all of the time, or if you're saying La ilaha illallah all day, it higher the chances of you dying actually saying La ilaha illallah, for example. So it's a good habit to do dhikr all of the time. La ilaha illallah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Istighfar is also a very good way to gain, well, obviously it removes your bad deeds, and it's also a good way to gain rizq. Sending salah on the Prophet, Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammad, and keep doing all of these adhkar all of the day, during all day. It's also a nice way to remember or be mindful of Allah all day. And reading Surah Al-Mulk reading Surah Al-Mulk before you sleep is a good way to protect you from the grave's punishment. And the last two ayat of Surah Al-Baqarah, they are enough, or they will be sufficient for anything. And number 7 is Quran, doing a khatma or reading the whole Quran in Ramadan. Ramadan is the month of Quran, and it sounds a little bit overwhelming if you say that read the whole Quran, but if you read like 4 pages every salah, it will make it easier. Or you can divide it on however you want. But for me, like I thought about it, and I thought like 4 pages every salah is not too much, and inshallah we can do that. Number 8 is sadaqah daily. It shouldn't like it can be however much you want. It can be like 1 Turkish lira every day, 5 Turkish lira every day. There's a hadith that says the most beloved deeds to Allah are the smallest. No, are the is the most consistent ones, even if it's small. So be consistent and try to do sadaqah as much as possible if you want. Number 9 is reading about the seerah during Ramadan, the seerah of the Prophet, reading it during Ramadan or listening to it. It's a very nice way to get to know our Prophet and to get to love our Prophet. Now, you do not have to do all of these. Do whatever you can, but be consistent. Aim to leave Ramadan doing better than when you came in it. And to wrap things up, I really wanted to make this video, but I was getting lazy and I almost didn't do it. As I'm recording this video, it's Fajr time, and there is 2 days left for Ramadan. Allahumma balighna Ramadan. And you never know. Like, as I'm recording this video, I might not make it to Ramadan, even there's 2 days left. I might not be able to reach Ramadan. So may Allahumma balighna Ramadan. And I was thinking about it. There's a question that's been on my mind recently, and it's part of the reason why I got up and actually made this video. Where one man asked the Prophet, when is the hour? And the Prophet doesn't know the hour, but he replied to him in a very nice way. He told him, what have you prepared for it? So subhanallah, I've been asking myself this recently, and it made me get up and do this video. I went through the list very quickly to not take away your time, and I hope it was beneficial, but it's something that to prepare, inshallah. And I will give you the mic and I will reverse to you the question. What are you preparing for your afterlife? What are you preparing? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.